In search of excitement, I got flirty with that woman in the movie theater until I got beaten up and landed in the hospital. That's when I realized the excitement you encounter will always be paid back in the end. My name is Kevin. I'm 25 years old this year. I'm a fitness coach. My monthly income is unstable. Depends on my performance. I rent a partitioned room in a village in the city. Honestly, I'm just an ordinary young guy. My daily life is just going back and forth between the gym and my rental. Sometimes I go out for skewers and drinks with the guys. Life isn't exactly good, but it's not bad either. Until that evening, I was handing out flyers at the entrance of a supermarket, and I met a woman. She was wearing a floral dress, pushing a shopping cart out. Her hair was tied up casually, barely any makeup on her face, but her skin was really fair. I handed her a flyer and said the same line I repeat 800 times a day. Miss, new gym just opened. Maybe check it out? She took it and glanced at it and said, at my age, why bother working out? I said, Miss, you don't look that old. You look about 27, 28. She smiled and said she's 32 and that her kid is already 6. I helped her carry her groceries. She said it wasn't necessary. I said it's fine. I don't have anything else to do anyway. Walked with her to her apartment building. It's just a 7 or 8 minute walk. She said her name's Ceci. I said I'm Kevin. In the end, she added me on WeChat. Sighed she'd think about getting a membership. That night, I was lying on my bed scrolling through my phone, looking at some of her pictures on her moments. Her son was in them. There was a back view of her husband, and also some of the food she'd made. She looked pretty calm in the pictures, like someone who's doing well in life, a woman without much worry. I didn't think much of it then, just thought she seemed really gentle. Next morning at 8, I sent messages to potential clients as required by work. Sent her, miss. Remember to eat breakfast. She replied with a smiley face. Third day, I sent it again. She replied again. Fourth day, fifth, sixth day. It slowly became a habit. Not because the company told me to, but because I wanted to. The way she talks is very pleasant. Not cold like some clients. And not like some young girls who turn everything into flirting. She just replies seriously to every message. Sometimes chatting a bit longer. Saying her son got into trouble again at kindergarten. Or her husband has been working late a lot. Says she's bored at home alone. Later on, she actually got a gym membership. Requested me as her personal trainer. Honestly, I was surprised. Because personal training isn't cheap. 300 yuan per session. She bought 30 sessions in one go. First training session. When she stood in front of me in workout clothes, I was stunned for a moment. Used to seeing her in a dress, I thought she was just a normal housewife. But in sportswear, her proportions were actually pretty good. Just that some places were a little loose where they should be toned. And some parts were thick where they should be slim, she shyly said. She hasn't really exercised since giving birth, so she's gotten flabby. I said it's all good. Give me 3 months, miss, and I'll help you transform. And I kept my word. She trained really hard. Came 3 or 4 times a week. Never slacked off. She followed the training plan I made and stuck it out to the end. Sometimes she'd be drenched in sweat but never complained. She gradually changed. Her waist got slimmer, her legs straighter, her chin sharper. She looked like she was sculpted anew. Her complexion got so much better. Her face always looked tired and dull before. Now she glowed with a rosy hue. Even her eyes sparkled. She started wearing nice workout clothes and did her hair more carefully. Sometimes even put on a little lipstick. Other trainers joked with me at the gym. Kevin, your client is pretty cute. I told them not to talk nonsense. But I started noticing things I never noticed before, like when she smiles. Her eyes form little crescents and look really nice. For example, when she's focused on her exercises and biting her lips stubbornly, or after a set of squats, when she's bent over catching her breath. A thin layer of sweat forms above her collarbone. I told myself, don't overthink it. She's a client. And she's 8 years older than me. But some things aren't so easy to control. That time I was helping her stretch. She was lying on the yoga mat. I was helping her stretch her legs. My hand rested on her waist. Her waist was really slim. You could feel her body heat even through her workout clothes. My hand lingered there, a second or two longer than usual. She didn't flinch, didn't say a word either, just kept her eyes closed. Her breathing got a bit heavier. Those 2 seconds were like a match, igniting something. From then on, I started calling her Sissy, no more calling her Miss. And what I brought her changed too. It used to be cut fruit, or a bottle of water, but then it became a small bouquet of flowers, or a piece of cake. She'd blush when she took it. That look didn't match a 32-year-old mom. It was like a young girl of 18. The first time I officially asked her out, I said I wanted to take her to a movie. She hesitated for a long time. Finally said, okay. She wore a dress that day, different from when I first met her. This dress was really fitted. You could clearly see her figure. She wore makeup. Her hair was down. Seemed like a different person. In the theater, I held her hand. Her hand was small and soft. Her fingertips a little cold. She didn't pull away. She actually squeezed my hand back. After the movie, I walked her home. The streetlights cast a long shadow of her. She stood at the entrance to her building, lowered her head like she was waiting for me to say something. I called her name, Sissy. She looked up at me. There was a look in her eyes I'd never seen before. Not happiness. Not nervousness either, but something very complicated. Like someone who's been wandering in a desert a long time. Finally seeing water. Knowing it might be a mirage, but still wanting to believe it's real. I told her I liked her. She was silent for a long time. So long I thought she was going to turn me down. Then she nodded. Very gentle but very certain. After that, we got together. Honestly, I never thought I'd be with a married woman. I'm not someone who goes after married people. But my feelings for Sissy were real. She's unlike any girl I've ever met. She doesn't act up, doesn't cause drama, isn't pretentious. She's caring, considerate, and truly empathetic. Whenever I worked late, she'd message me to make sure I ate. Whenever I caught a cold, she'd make ginger tea, put it in a thermos, and bring it to me. That feeling, it's like someone really cares about you. We secretly dated for more than half a year, mainly when her husband was at work. She'd drop her son off at kindergarten, and then come to my place, or we'd drive to nearby cities. Those months were the happiest of my life, but also the most conflicted. I knew it was wrong. Whenever she got a call from her husband, her voice turned distant and cold. But when she hung up, she'd lean back into my arms. I always felt like a thief, like I stole something from someone else, and still felt justified about it. But every time I wanted to tell her, maybe you should get a divorce, the words stuck in my throat. What do I have to offer her for leaving him? My monthly salary isn't even as much as her allowance. Until that day, I asked Sissy to watch a movie with me. She replied she couldn't make it. Her husband suddenly wanted to take her and their son to the movies. I honestly couldn't say what I was feeling. A bit jealous and unwilling. I thought for a bit and replied, how about the 4 of us watch together? Think about it. You 3 can sit in one row. I can buy the seats next to you guys. Then we could all watch together. That way, you wouldn't need to make up an excuse to leave. How thrilling, I'll admit that. When I said how thrilling, there was something dark inside me. I wanted to see what her husband looked like. I wanted to sit next to them. I wanted her husband to know. No, it's not about letting him know. I wanted to prove something. Prove that she chose me. Prove that I'm better than him. But honestly, I don't know. She hesitated for a long time, but eventually agreed. That night, I got to the theater early, bought the seats next to them. She arrived in a new knit sweater, with makeup on, looking beautiful. Her husband looked like an average guy. Glasses, gray jacket, holding their son's hand. The little boy was really cute, chubby and sweet, hugging a tub of popcorn, chattering nonstop. When they sat down, she had her husband and son sit inside, and she sat at the end by me. My heart was racing, so fast I worried strangers nearby could hear it. The movie started explosions, Car chases all really loud, but I couldn't focus at all. I could feel her right beside me, smelled her perfume, her favorite scent, sweet like gardenias. About 20 minutes into the movie, there was a dark scene, the whole theater pitch black. I hesitated and reached over, grabbed her hand. Her palm was sweaty, but she didn't pull away. In that moment, my heart was pounding out of my chest. Her husband was just 2 seats away. I could even hear him sipping his soda, but her hand was in mine. That feeling is hard to describe. It's not love, it's not desire. It's something very primal. A wild thrill. About halfway through the movie, another dark scene. I leaned over and whispered in her ear, "Sissy, you're so beautiful." Her ears turned red. I could see it clearly in the glow of the screen. In the next patch of darkness, I kissed her. She pulled back a little and whispered, "Don't. Someone might see." I didn't stop. I could feel her shaking. In the last 20 minutes, almost all the lights in the theater went out. I don't know what got into me. Maybe I was lost in that darkness and taboo. I kissed her again. This time, not just a peck. Then the lights came on. Not the movie theater lights, but the light from the screen. Cold and pale, making the whole theater look like an operating room. Before I could let her go, I felt someone grab my collar, stronger than I expected. He pulled me right out of my seat. A man's face appeared in front of me, wearing glasses, eyes red, lips trembling. It was her husband. She looked at him, looked at me, then looked down and asked him who he was. He opened his mouth, but couldn't say a word. Then he slapped her. The slap echoed through the theater. Everyone turned around to look. Her face was turned to the side. Her hair fell down, covering half her face. Their son next to her started wailing. Popcorn spilled everywhere. The little boy clung to his tub, big tears rolling down his cheeks, crying out for his mom. Then her husband punched me in the face. I didn't hit back. He punched me again, split my lip. People started recording with their phones. Someone yelled to stop fighting. Someone called the police. Then the police officer with the hat showed up and took us away. I fractured my right brow bone, had some minor scrapes. I didn't press charges. I didn't want to make things difficult for him. So I chose to settle. That night, I went back to my apartment, laid in bed, my mind replaying the little boy's face, the way he cried for his mom. I knew I'd destroyed their family. Later, I heard she got divorced, rented a small apartment. I visited her once. She had lost a lot of weight, her hair tied up carelessly, like a different person. She said she was looking for a job, said the child was given to her husband, said she has nothing now. I sat in her tiny living room, looking at her tired face, wanting to say something, but couldn't get the words out. I sent her a few messages. She never replied. Later, I found out I'd been blocked. Sitting on my apartment bed, I stared at the refused message for a long time. But what kept replaying in my mind was not her. It was that little boy with his popcorn tub, crying out for his mom. I used to think stolen moments of pleasure meant I'd won. But only in that moment did I realize it wasn't just her marriage I destroyed with my own hands. It was her whole life.